13, a winning culture recognizes and rewards top contributors, encourages and develops those with potential, and invites poor performers to move on. Everybody on your team fits into one of three categories. They're a top contributor, and they need to be recognized and rewarded. They have potential. They need to be encouraged and developed. Or they're poor performers, and you need to deal with it. You need to invite them to simply make an alternate career decision. The number one thing good people want is an opportunity to grow. Number one, opportunity to grow. Have you identified your top contributors? Have you identified the people with great potential in your organization? And do you know who the 20% of poor performers are? Because typically in a business there will be 20% poor performers. And they are eliminating the gains made by most of the other people. Have you a career path and development program for your A's and your B's, your top contributors and those with potential? Do you have a training and development program? And here's an interesting way to think of your people. Everybody on your team is either part of your value or part of your problem. Once again, we put people in the muddy middle. Not good enough to promote, not bad enough to fire. And that's where we put people. And they sit there and they drag our business down. But the reality is, if you would just get crisp in your thinking and say, hey, no, everybody on the team is either part of our value or part of our problem. Nobody's in the muddy middle, not allowed. How many of you can think of some people right now who are in the part of your problem category? Just forcing you to put them one place or the other. And then you deal with them. Since good people in your organization want a challenging job with an opportunity to grow, that's the most important thing to them. We need to create a career path for every one of those good people in your organization. Ask them where they'd like to be in 3 to 5 years, what they'd like to be doing, what position or responsibility they would like to have, and then ask them what they think that job will look like and what kind of training they need to do it wonderfully. Then, create a step-by-step career path that outlines the training that they need and how they'll get it. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone in your business will become a vice president or a manager, but everybody should be growing. So one of the most important things that you can do to create a winning culture in your business is to create a career path for every one of your good people. Measure, recognize, and reward. Measure performance. Let people know how they're doing and hold them accountable. The 4 currencies. We said earlier that your customers have 4 currencies in their lives. Well, your internal customers, your staff, also have 4 currencies in their lives. Money, time, feeling safe, and feeling special. Are you paying your people with all 4 currencies? Because if you only pay them with money and you don't give them time to have a balanced life, if you don't allow them to feel safe and special, you can't pay them enough money to make up for the absence of the other 3 currencies. Pink suits. A few years ago, I spoke in Dallas, Texas, and I shared a hotel with 3,000 Mary Kay representatives. 3,000 ladies in pink suits. Way too many ladies in pink suits. And what I noticed was that every one of those ladies had hundreds of buttons, badges, pins, and ribbons fastened to their bosom, more or less. And I thought, it must have taken them 3 hours to pin all those on, but they did. But they did. Because every one of those buttons, badges, pins, and ribbons was a thank you from Mary Kay, an acknowledgement, a little reward for a quota met, a sale made, a success in some way. Because Mary Kay understood years ago that you cannot actually supervise 300,000 ladies around the world, 300,000 pink suits. You can't supervise them. But you could encourage them like anything. And Mary Kay became an encourager. Are we encouragers? Cards, a thank you every day. People say, how big a deal could a thank you every day be? If I open the door for you, you got 2 pieces of luggage leaving the hotel, and I open the door for you, and what do you say? Thank you. What's the full sentence? What do you mean to say? Thank you for opening the door. But in our culture, in our society, we shorten it down, we just say, thank you. But we all know what it means, thank you for opening the door. Well, in business, when we say thank you to our team, what are we really saying? Thank you for making a difference in our business again today. And we just say thank you, but everybody knows what the sentence is. And that is powerful because, as we said earlier, the number one reason people stop trying is they think they don't make a difference. And if you get a thank you every day, how could you think you don't make a difference? How many people here have someone in your life right now who you know academically, you know, intellectually, you know, loves you? How many people have someone? Yeah. Now, how many of you still like to hear it every day? And if you don't hear it every day for a few days, how many of you have ever wondered if maybe they don't? Well, thank you at work is like I love you at home. And don't get those two mixed up. It can really mess things up. A thank you at work is like an I love you at home. A thank you every day. It's so powerful. Break the routine. Create joy. People want a joyful environment. Create joy. 1,001 Ways to Reward Your Employees. There is a great book out there. That's the title, 1,001 Ways to Reward Your Employees by Bob Nelson. Been on the New York Times bestseller business list for years. And it lists literally 1,001 things that companies have actually done to reward their employees, other than giving them a raise, other creative things, and $15. I mean, it's just a great book. Nothing in it for me. The guy doesn't even know I exist. It's just a really powerful book. How can we reward, recognize, acknowledge our people?